Hey guys, Josh and Chris here with another episode of We've Got Issues. This week we're doing something a little bit different. Chris is not in town this week. He is out of town for the week. So we're zooming in for our We Got Issues. Chris, it was a little bit difficult setting up tonight because I couldn't figure out how to get my um, comic book in the picture with the camera, with the computer, and not the camera like we've been doing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can see I don't even have mine in there. I'm gonna hold them up when I start talking about it, because I am out of my element too. I don't have any of my stands or anything with me this week, but I have been comic book shopping over the past 2 days. I have got a ton of comic books. I've been looking at building a back wall for my videos at home,
Right.
and I picked up a ton of facsimiles between yesterday and today. So
Nice.
uh, I've got Fantastic Four. I've got 48, 49, and 50. So you see the coming of Galactus with the Watcher on the front, the actual Galactus cover, and then the next one, which is Silver Surfer.
Right.
So really cool stuff I picked up this week.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
but yeah. But this week I wanted to talk about, and I had a lot to read this week, but nothing really grabbed me. So I'm falling back a week on a book that came out last week. And I grabbed it I was down at the beach Saturday and I went in the shop down there, the Atlantic Beach Bookmark, which they do have comics for those of you that don't know. I picked up this copy of Bring On the Bad Guys Dune #1. And Josh, that is a Lee Bermejo cover,
Nice.
really cool
Man,
cover.
that's great artwork.
But what I discovered today while I was out, and you know how I am when I'm on League of Comic Geeks, um, they're doing a variant-ish cover for every issue, and it's lyrics doing the cover. So I
Ooh,
grabbed this lyrics, um,
nice.
Sister Sorrow cover. So who is Sister Sorrow, you ask? Well, this is going to be a run of 6 comics in Marvel. Bring on the bad guys. We're going to get Doom. We're going to get Green Goblin, which I actually picked up today. I haven't read it yet. We're going to get an Abomination. We're going to get a Loki. We're going to get a Red Skull, and we're going to get a Dormammu. So 6. Actually, there's going to be 7 books, but I'm going to hold out for just a minute to tell you what the 7th book is.
Okay.
Because this book's been really good, what I read. There's these things called uh, the Soul Daggers, and they are Sister Sorrow shows up and she's trying to collect these soul daggers. And what you find out in the book, and I'm looking, she's doing a little cheating here, is there were a group of dark souls who ran this thing, and they all were killed. But the dark souls all came from, there was one from Kamertage, there was one from um, Khonshu, and from the Order of Khonshu, one from Wakanda, so she was evil as well. One from Latveria, obviously Doctor Doom. One from the Kingdom of Atlantis, and there was one called Lucifer, and he kept his identity secret from the other 5. And so these 5 daggers, if you collect them all, will recharge this thing called the soul. Let me get it right. Um, I'm sorry, I read it this week. It's something to do with the soul. It's like a soul bowl or something. It's like a lamp almost, and you've got to have these. Apparently, the souls of the bad guys got transferred into these daggers, and if you can get all of them, you take control of this thing. And if you do, you get control over all of the souls in hell as well as all the souls on earth. Which brings us to and
the,
who the mysterious guy is. And you know what?
the devil's in the
I don't think
details.
the devil's in the details, but you take it any way you see. I don't really want to say because I want you to go out and buy these books. So if you want to find out who that devil is, or Lucifer is a good hint there with the name. Um, I don't want to, yeah, I'm not going to spoil it. So yeah, definitely check these out. I've been reading, I haven't read a lot of Marvel recently other than the Ultimate stuff, but it actually grabbed my attention this time and I really like it. The fact that it's leading into this whole thing. And Doom was obviously Doom is big right now, so he was the subject of the first book. And then the next book obviously is going to be Green Goblin, so we'll see how that goes as well.
So, Chris,
Um,
would you say
definitely
this character is
go
getting a
ahead.
lot of attention right now?
This character is getting a lot of attention right now. No spoilers for anything else, even though I've already seen the spoiler. I haven't seen it yet. But if you were on social media today, then you probably saw it as well.
Absolutely
Very
amazing. Okay.
all I can say is all I can say is very nice,
Yeah.
very nice. This
Very
is my
nice.
sister.
Yes.
So yeah, so there you go. So that's what I read this week. How about you, Josh?
All right, Chris. So yeah, Ironheart. I know you said you didn't like the first three episodes, but the second half of the series, they really bring it.
Well, I watched one. I did see one last night. I watched four last night, and I really enjoyed that one. So
Yeah.
I'm old. I can't stay up super late to watch all of them, and I've been kind of busy, so I haven't had time to sit and watch them this week. But
Well, I
I'm
watched.
sure between tomorrow and Friday I'll see them.
Yeah,
So
I watched two last night, and I watched the last one this morning.
yeah.
Now, Chris, I will say standout actor is the young Han Solo.
Oh yeah, Aaron
He
Aldenreich.
does an amazing part. He does.
Yeah, I liked him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked him at the beginning. He was my favorite part of the first three. So
Yeah.
you know,
He gets even better. All right,
yeah.
guys. So my book this week, and I'm a week behind as well because I did not read my new books yet. I only had three this week to come in. Absolute Green Lantern, which I haven't picked up yet. Batman 89 Echoes #6, and Dreadmutt from our good buddy Rob Potsy Potcheck were my three pickups this week. Which my Dreadmutt's not in. I went by today, and it won't be in till later this week. But I got to go get that. If you haven't picked that up, I did read an advanced reader copy. I'll do a review of it. That may be my book next week, Chris, because that's
Yeah.
an amazing book. It's a lot of
It
fun.
is. It's fun. It is fun.
So my book this week is The New History of the DC Universe, written by Mark Waid. Artists are Todd Nuck and Jerry Ordway, which Ordway is always great. Nuck does an amazing job.
Yeah, Todd Knock is amazing. I've seen some of his covers today, and he's just a great artist.
It was smart using two artists because of the way they did the book. The whole book is like full page spreads, and they're split between different groups of heroes. Issue 1 is basically the golden age of heroes. It's your Wild West, your World War One, World War Two, the JSA. I believe it's called the Seven Soldiers of Victory, Chris, with Shining Knight and all them. It brings them in. It highlights the Stargirl and the Lost Children, which was one of my favorite reads of the last year when they bring in all of the sidekicks from the JSA. That was a super cool read. But it opens up. It's really cool because this history book is being written by Barry Allen, because Barry's the one who's traveled the multiverse. He's the one who's been through all the history of the DC universe. And it opens up in Barry's study. And when you look around his study, he's got Superman's cape hanging up. He's got Green Arrow's bow. He's got I don't remember her name, but Ma Hunkle,
Yeah.
who wore the pot on her head with the eyes cut out, right? He's got that in there. He's got so many pieces, like the Shades top hat. All these artifacts are in his office, and it's really cool the way it's set up. I mean, I could take a look at that page for hours on end and still not find all of the pieces that are
Yeah, it's like a big can you
yeah,
spot this
yeah.
type deal, you
It's
know.
got a little bit of everything on that page, and it's really cool. But he goes back to the beginning of the universe with the Monitor, the Anti-Monitor, Perpetua, all those people when they created the Source Wall and all that. And it covers all that stuff. It covers all these heroes. It rolls through these heroes we know about. It retcons something that had not been done in a long time. When Wonder Woman shows up with the JSA, it's not Diana, is Queen Hippolyta. She
Yeah,
was the first Wonder Woman. She was
yeah,
the golden age of heroes. She was a member of
that's
the
right.
but it really does a good job. Jay Garrick Flash is there, Alan Scott. And it hits on some other things, Chris, which I think is pretty cool. It pulls in was it what was the first Blue Beetle? Not Ted Cord.
Yeah, I saw that, and I can't remember his
His name.
name, but yeah,
Yeah, it
they
brings
did bring him in.
It brings him in. It pretty much brings in, if you know your history of DC, DC bought was it Charlton Comics? And that's where they got Blue Beetle and some of these other characters from.
Yeah,
It brings them in. It brings all these people. You see these characters that, Sergeant Rock in the war, all that's going on throughout the history of this book. And you see all these characters that you may not remember. But the one thing it does that I think is really cool, Chris, is there's one moment in there where it talks about this hero and he's born way in the past, but he's got this long lifespan. It's one of the milestone heroes. So it
yeah,
brings Milestone in as part of the DC universe and not a separate universe.
yeah,
So it
yeah,
adds the Milestone universe to the DC universe, which I think,
yeah, yeah. And I love go ahead. I love the way it ended too,
yeah.
setting up the next one. I thought that was really cool
Well,
where
it's
we're
the
going to be
summer of
with it.
Superman, and we know that after the Golden Age, the very first superhero is Superman, and he
Superman. Yeah,
inspires everybody else to come out. He's the
that's right.
one
That's
who brings in the new age of superheroes. So it shows the rocket coming to Earth at the end. I thought that
yeah,
was really
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
I thought that was cool too.
Also, Chris, I don't know if you kept flipping after that, but it has a whole detailed history of the Golden Age where it lists the characters and what comics they came from. And it gives you a detailed list and it explains who this character is and what comic they appeared
Yeah.
in and what year it was. So it does a
I
really
didn't see
good job.
that, so I'm wondering if they didn't put that on the online version,
Yeah,
because I read it online.
right.
Yeah, it's possible they didn't, but that's really cool. And they did some great covers for that as well. I saw two or three different covers
Oh yeah,
for that
because
one as well.
my cover, and I'm gonna pick it up and try to show it to the camera, is the Chris Samney cover. And I'm a fan of
Yeah,
Samney's artwork. I mean, I enjoyed Firepower that he did with Robert Kirkman, but it does a really great job of showing that. The covers, I love the wraparound covers they're doing because it gives them a chance to show a lot of the heroes on there.
right,
I feel
right.
like it was a great way to do it. There's even a nod at the end, with special thanks to George Perez and Marv Wolfman, who did the
Yeah.
original history of the DC.
Let's let's back up a little bit though. Do you think that wraparound covers are a cash grab?
Well, this wraparound cover is the A cover for this book.
Yeah, but if you think about it, Josh, here's my thing with wraparound covers. When you take that wraparound cover right there and you put it in a bag and board,
You can't
you
see it.
never see the
Yeah.
back. So a wraparound cover is created to get you to buy two copies of the same book so you can display the backside in another bag and board.
I mean, it's possible, but I mean, I've never done that. My thoughts on grading and shelling up comics where they can't be opened. I believe comics were meant to be read. Yes, I put them in bags and boards to protect them, but if I want to look at it, I'm going to take it out of the bag.
Right. But also, yeah, also the thing with wraparounds though is even if you want to see it, you've still got to take it and fold it out and
Yeah,
almost flatten your book.
yeah.
So like something like that, which would be cool on a wall or something in the bag and board, you're
Right.
still looking to buy 2 copies of it.
Well,
That kind of, I'm not saying that there's a direct they might be thinking that in their heads, but
yeah.
this is what the true collectors are thinking about because they don't want to ruin one book by spreading it out that way.
Right.
So, so
Um, and Chris, I do want to mention in the beginning when they're talking about Perpetua and the Monitor and the Anti-Monitor, they also have the World Forger there. And
yeah, yeah,
if you're following Superman right now, and the what was it, the We Are Yesterday thing they did with Batman,
yeah.
Superman, and Justice League Unlimited, the World Forger has just returned, and it's
Oh, really? Wow.
something big. So it's
Yeah,
leading to
yeah.
the next big all-in crossover, and I feel like it's going to have something to do with the Absolute Universe.
I think
Because,
so too. I think they're getting ready to dive into that big time.
well, because Superman
Yeah,
is getting ready to have um the Legion, Darkseid's Legion of superheroes in it, and so it's
yeah, yeah,
from the Absolute Universe.
yeah.
And so,
It should be interesting to see what happens.
yeah,
Um,
and they have
so
captured um Booster Gold, who, if you remember in the All In special, he crossed over into the Absolute Universe.
yeah,
So I think we're
yeah.
going to finally get some answers to what happened to him there.
Right. And there's a little bit more leaning too. I think, we talk about Absolute Flash and how he can jump from timeline to timeline.
Yes.
I don't know if you noticed in the last Absolute Wonder Woman, when she steps into the maze, she makes the comments, I can open doors wherever I want to.
Yeah.
So, who knows what Wonder Woman's capable of or Absolute Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah, we're going
So,
to get some interesting stuff. Um,
yeah.
Chris, like I said, this book had a little excuse me, a little bit of something for everyone. We got the birth of the Watchers, not the Watchers, the Guardians on
The
Oa
Guardians and
and
Noah and all that.
yeah,
Yeah.
all that stuff. So it was really cool to see all that.
That's cool. That's very cool. Yeah, it was a good book. I read it. I enjoyed it. Probably one of the, well, I do enjoy DC, um, especially like the Batman stuff, but the history book was really cool.
Yeah, it's
So,
really cool to see.
so
And it brings up some stuff that most people probably don't remember anymore. And it brings it back to the forefront because we're seeing
yeah,
the
yeah.
USA again. And we're seeing
Well, you got so many people that are starting to get into reading comics again, and it's good to kind of, if not just refresh us as readers, but to introduce those new readers to where the history of the DC universe is. So
it,
Marvel is so all over the place. Speaking of history and changing it a little bit, Captain America came out today. Do you know the premise of that book?
no.
Captain America gets woken up from the ice storm after 9/11 from the ice block. So it's doing almost a rewrite for Captain America and introducing a new character that was a child when 9/11 happened. He was very much like Captain America, very scrawny, very skinny, and decided he wants to be part of the military. And so I think, more or less they give him the super soldier serum too.
No.
So, so he could be in the future another Captain America. Yeah. So,
Rise of a new
so
superhero. I think that's
yeah,
great. I love when they create new characters that hold up and stand. Chris, I don't know if we both like Tom Taylor a lot, but I was looking
yeah,
at the previews for September, and he's got a new book called Court, Cort, and
yeah,
it's Children of the Round Table, and they're
yeah,
like
yeah. I
direct
saw that.
descendants of Arthur and all that, and it's in the main universe of DC, so it's going to be a brand new like teen superhero group based around the legend of Arthur, King Arthur. So I'm like, that
The
looks like
Knights.
that might be a nice read, especially with
Well, Tom's Tom's a great writer, so he shouldn't have any problem with that at all. Let's just hope he picks some good artists and stuff and
The
can
art
get
looks
it put
pretty
out
good.
for.
I tell you what it reminded me of when I saw it. It looks like Neverlanders that he did. The
Okay.
artwork.
So
So
he's leaning more, and he's going to lean more towards that teen comic, almost like what Twig and things like that, and Neverlanders and stuff. And that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Because sometimes it's fun to write that stuff instead of the seriousness
yeah.
of the other stuff that you have to write. So, yeah, cool. I forgot to mention the writer on my book, the Dune book, is Mark Guggenheim, and the artist is, let me say his name correctly, um, if I can find it, Stefano Raphael.
Okay.
So, yeah, yeah, really good artwork. Really good story, and like I said, the 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 mystery character at the end, who's not really a mystery because if you look on League of Comic Books and League of Comic Books, or look in the back of this book, you're gonna see who that mystery character
Oh yeah.
was and he is. So
Um, yeah, it's interesting, Chris. And whenever Marvel does something and they do the villains, I will give Marvel this. Marvel has the greatest and most compelling and interesting villains. I think a story centered around the villains is a great way to do it for them.
yeah, it is. It is. You know, Marvel does kind of top DC a little bit with villains, but I think the thing with DC is all the villains from DC are all Batman's villains. So,
A lot of
he's
them
got
are.
so many. Yeah,
A
yeah.
lot
I
of them
mean,
are. Yeah.
Wonder Woman has a handful. Superman has a handful, and but Batman has about six handfuls of villains.
Batman's got
With new
about
ones,
1,000 villains.
yeah, and every time they bring a new writer on, they create a new one. So, you know, so um, but anyway, yeah, that's cool. Well, um, as we speak tonight is Wednesday, July the 2nd, when we're recording this. Josh, I just got out of the movie theater about an hour and a half ago from seeing Jurassic World. Is it Rebirth? I think it's called this time.
Yes.
Rebirth. It's worth the money. Worth the money. It felt good. It felt fun. It felt like a Jurassic Park should feel. They say that all of the good ones are either ones or threes. So, like the first Jurassic Park is great. The second one's okay. The third one is good. The fourth one is good. The fifth one's not so good. The third one is all right, but this is a one. Hopefully, will be another trilogy because I mean they do things in threes with Jurassic Park,
Yeah.
so we'll just have to see how much money it makes. I know it was 4:15 in the afternoon when we saw this, and the theater was almost full. So
Well,
it's
today
got
was
about
today.
yeah, it's got about a week, you know, a week to do what it's going to do, and then we're going to get Superman.
Yes.
Um, and he gets about 2 weeks, and then we get
Right.
Fantastic Four. So it's going to be a quick turnaround for these
Oh
movies.
yeah. It's the summer
So
blockbusters. But
yeah, yeah,
Superman's got the good boy.
yeah. He does. But uh, Jurassic Park's got dinosaurs, and kids love dinosaurs. So
Now,
it's
Chris, no spoilers, but it's Jonathan Bailey and Scarlett Johansson are the main characters. Does anybody show up from the Jurassic Park or the Jurassic World series, those trilogies?
no, no.
Okay.
No, no, this stands alone. They do at the beginning do some explaining. It's definitely tied into the other ones. They tell you what happened because if you remember the last movie, what was it, Dominion?
Yes.
Where they were all or Fallen King, not Fallen Kingdom, it was Dominion, where
Yes.
the dinosaurs were all over the earth. They explain what happened since that movie and where all the dinosaurs are now and So it's a direct link. There is a mention, there's a scientist slash doctor there who does name drop one of the original characters that he
Okay.
studied under them. So he had been on safaris and stuff. Um, so there is a name drop, but the movie itself stands alone. Um, it's good, good. I mean, the characters were good. You felt like you cared for the characters. The dinosaurs were impressive as they always are. Um, there were moments in the, where with just like Jurassic Park, the original one, where you're like, they ain't getting out of this. You're on the edge of your seat. The dinosaur is right there. You can feel the tension.
Yeah.
So yeah, a
Awesome.
well done movie. A
Good.
well done movie.
Would you
Uh,
say summer popcorn flick?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely a summer popcorn flick. And I would suggest if you have a chance to go see it on the big screen. Simply because the dinosaurs just pop on the big screen. We actually saw it in the Elite Theater today in Greenville.
Right.
Um, Sound was like seats were shaking, dinosaurs were breathing on our neck.
Wow.
You could hear them. It was freaky, but picture laser projection is really good. So the picture was top notch.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I saw
So that
Thunderbolts at
was
that theater and it's a great theater.
yeah, it is. It is a lot of fun. The seats are nice too. They're heated, so you can hit that button and
Nice.
it feels good. So so cool. Awesome. Well, yeah, so that's what I did. We have a show on
Yes.
July the 13th, the Fort Day Bash at Roanoke Rapids at the, I'm gonna call it the wrong name. It's the bowling alley. It's Fairwood Lanes, I'm pretty
I
sure.
believe that's the
Uh,
correct name of it.
Fairwood Lanes, guys, this is a benefit show, but also it's just a great show to come have fun. They've got a gaming trailer that's going to be there. You can go in and play Fortnite in a gaming trailer. Going to be tons of vendors. I think Elizabeth told me the other day they've got 35 vendors out there. We are coming with our comic books, 30 for 20, $30 comics for $20. Come fill up a bag, fill up a box. We want to sell as many as possible. Buy a ton and we'll make you a better deal. Might even empty out some short boxes if you want to fill up a short box. We'll cut you a good deal on those too.
I would love to
But
see
we
some of them. We have
yeah,
plenty
we
of
like to
dollar comics.
plenty of dollar comics. So we'll be there. Josh, I am actually going to be this Saturday. I'm setting up at the flea mall.
Okay.
I'm going down there, so I'm gonna be there in Newport. If you guys are in the area, come down to Newport and see me. I've got all of my stuff. I have got two like shopping bags full of videos, DVDs that I'm gonna have down there for $1 a piece. Someone gave them to me and asked me to sell them for them. I don't even know what's in there. They're just gonna be on the table. I'm trying to move as many of them as I can. Plus, I'll have my comics. I think I'm probably gonna move my $3 comics down to $2 this weekend. Starting this weekend, they'll be $2. And maybe my $5 comics, we'll mark them down to $4 and see what we can do with those. Uh, so yeah, we got that going on, and I got to get back to town and pick up my comics, and I got to read some comics. I've been so busy this week, I haven't even read. I did start reading our friend James Maxtad's second Wand Chaser book this week, though.
Nice.
Does he have a third one?
He
He
does. I have
does.
the third one. I need to read it and get it to.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, I have.
Cool.
There's
Cool.
three of those. I have all three of them.
Awesome. Awesome. So I'm about maybe 25 pages in. I haven't had a lot of reading time, but I enjoyed what I started reading. I had fun reading the first one, so I'm ready to read the second one. And Josh, you need to get that book double signed. You realize that, don't you?
Why is it? Yeah,
Uh,
because Joe Covis did the covers.
Cobus did the
Yeah,
cover,
yeah,
yeah.
I
So
do
we
need
need
to
to
get
get him.
Joe to sign those for me.
Yeah, cool, cool. Awesome. All right. Well, I think if that's all we got this week, Josh, you got anything else
I
that
think
you
that's
know
it.
of?
Those are our next two shows. In a couple of weeks after that, Greenville Comic Con is coming up the 1st of August.
Yeah, that's right. August 9th. I was talking to Jason about that today. They're in scramble mode. Speaking of, if you're interested in being a sponsor of that show, they have tables available out in the front lobby that you can get. I think he told me the sponsor, like local business stuff, $200 will land you a table. You can, promote your business right out front of the Greenville Comic Con. It's always a very well visited Comic Con. I mean, it's busy every time we've ever done it. So,
Yeah, and Chris, I
you want
saw
it?
Karen's going to be there, and
Yep,
and I'm probably going to mess up his name, but Eddie Denson,
Deason, Eddie
Deason,
Deason, I believe.
Deason. If you don't
Deason.
know who
Yeah,
that,
he was in Greece.
yes, if you've ever seen Grease,
Yep,
he is the nerdy guy from Grease.
yep. I can't wait to meet him. Hopefully, we'll be able to sit down with him, maybe get an interview or something, talk to him about being in Greece. But yeah, I know our friend Karen's going to be there, the Bronze Age Batgirl. And I saw one other name, and I can't remember who it was, but
He's an actor and artist. Um,
Matthew Ashley.
that's
Ma-
yes, yep,
Matthew Ashley's there, and Matthew's an awesome guy. I've had some great conversations with him over the years at conventions. So come out and see him too. And he has some really great artwork. So by that, like I said, we'll be there. Josh, I think we got a 10 by 10 spot. Depending on how many comics we get rid of next week, we're still gonna be running that special.
yeah.
20-30 for 20 when we get there. Help us get rid of some more than dollar comics. And until the next time, I guess this time next week we will see you somewhere, maybe the flea mall, maybe at Roanoke Rapids or somewhere. But happy reading to you this week, guys.